channel. Um, One other source I think is very useful for you to stay in touch with us is actually the registration page. So when you register to the either the in-person link or the virtual link, this is on a Tableau page. So under this page, you can actually click to our user group and where it document all our past events. And for those, if it has recordings, you can also click on the event and then see past recordings. So this is a very nice consolidated place for you to stay in touch with us. Um, I'm also recommending this platform because if you're interested in user group, most likely you want to be more involved in data community. So this platform also have other events. So like if you click on upcoming events, you will be able to see a lot of the events based on date. So let's say if you're in the job market, you're looking for a new job, then actually there is an event called Career Path Maker Job Search BI session going on. It's a virtual session. So this is a very nice page just for you to see if there's any community event that fits your need. And you can just join and you never know, there might be opportunity open to you, right? So this is a very nice website for you to just be involved. And then a little bit about Blend because we are hosting our in-person portion of this event at Blend 360 headquarters. Prem and I are both working for Blend. So we are a young but fast-growing consulting company. We offer a variety of consulting services, AI consulting, data science, data engineering, intelligence application, and me specifically, I work for the BI business intelligence team under data science for Blend 360. Um, we are about like 7, 8 years old, but we grew really fast. We're currently having over 1,000 employees, 175 million revenues, very high NPS scores, and then we are a global shop. So it's a little bit about Blend, but if you're interested in any of the consulting offering we provide, feel free to ping me after this session to learn more. In terms of big news in the Tableau community, it will be the Tableau conference upcoming event in mid-April. It is a 3-day event with 300 sessions, and you have some classic sessions like Iron Viz. I enjoy the most. There's the keynote. So I don't know if any of you in the room are attending in person for the Tableau conference this year. No, unfortunately, I'm not going either. Yeah. But as you can see, the in-person portion is San Diego, but there's also Salesforce Plus. So there are some session that is available online live during the event. So if you're gonna miss out the in-person one, you can always go to their website. This is how it look like. As you can see, their sessions have like video on demand on the title. So you can just filter to narrow down to like those sessions with video on demand and pick a few you're interested. So you can still learn like the latest content from Tableau, even though you're not going there physically. So the main agenda today, we have two exciting sessions from two Tableau ambassadors. We will have Stanley lead the first topic, where he will show us a real world case study of how he deployed a Tableau product for the university he's in. And then Megha will share two interesting Tableau extension. To show you how some of the Excel functions can be enabled in Tableau with those extensions. We will have a kind of like a mini break in between where for the people come in person, we will grab some food. So there will be like a 15-minute break for those of you who's online. Feel free to grab your food if you want during the 15-minute break. And then for the last portion, we will have an open discussion for those who are interested. We like to talk about Tableau Pulse. I think one of the few effort from Tableau to really make AI in BI possible. So we like to talk about where we think the product maturity it is right now, and then just brainstorm anything. So that'll be the agenda. But before we get to the main topic, as usual, we designed a quick game for everyone to participate to test your latest knowledge in Tableau. And then the top one will get a small gift from us. So if you're interested, you can scan the QR code or you can go to the menti.com to put the 8-digit code in to just join the game. Yes. Oh. So I think we will do like a quick test game first before we enter the real one. So I think the next page is actually like a demonstration of what it is. Does everyone in the room can see this question? Okay. Oh, okay. So the correct answer is actually 2025.1 is what's released so far. I think after Tableau conference, most likely we'll have another version released with all of the really cool fancy feature they're gonna release at the conference. So you get a feel of how it look like. All right. I don't know if this is the page where you get to type your name.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, we need your name. Okay. Okay, the first question, who is the current CEO of Tableau as of February 2025? Okay, so I think a lot of us might heard Mark Nelson. He was the CEO until December 2022. And then since then, Ryan Ayata, if I'm not butchering his last name, is the CEO. And you actually see him a lot in some of the recent Salesforce product demo video. He is actually pretty hands-on. So the only one person get it right. And let's see who. Stanley. One of our presenter get it right. Add some credibility. All right. Second question is, when is Tableau Conference 2025 scheduled to take place? And I just mentioned that. I hope no one get it wrong.
pay attention.
All right, and it's April 15th. So usually each year Tableau conference happen like April, May-ish. So yeah. Next question. What is Tableau Pulse designed for? Oh, everyone get it right. I'm glad. So yeah, not only you want to get it right, but also the speed matters in terms of your final points. Okay, next question. What does data densification help achieve in Tableau visualizations? So yeah, as the name indicate, densification makes things dense. Usually it is used for filling gaps in data, especially when you have a set of data with time and you're missing the months, just to make sure your, let's say, trend line looks more like a complete line. A lot of the time, data densification is used for filling time series gaps. So we have a few folks catching up here on the leaderboard. Next question. In super tables, which we will mention later, user can perform which of the following actions? You can make your best guesses if you haven't heard about it. Yep, and the right answer is sort, filter, and rearrange columns dynamically because it's essentially trying to mimic a lot of functions as Excel. Right, we're halfway here. Next question. What type of machine learning technique is used by Tableau AI to predict future data trends? And the correct answer is supervised learning. Nice. On dynamic zone visibility is controlled by what type of field or parameters? Yeah, most of people get it right. Dynamic zone visibility, I think one of the very interesting release from last year. I personally use it a lot. It is very nice. And it's basically controlled by a true or false parameter. So that's about it. We have some people's rank changes on the top three. In Tableau, what does the noodle represent when connecting tables? Okay, so no one fall off the trap for a hidden shortcut to order ramen.
I would take the ramen.
Oh, congratulations to Shopta for top one as of now. Which chart type in Tableau is best suited for showing the distribution of a single continuous measure? And the correct answer is histogram. See if we have any change on the top three. Nice. All right, well, last three questions. What is the latest agentic analytic platform introduced by Tableau? The correct answer is Tableau Next. This is what we call the agentic analytic platform they're introducing. Tableau Agent and Tableau Pulse are both a product under this analytic platform that is them trying to enable AI and BI. We have Tiger, Baby, and Bell. Got it right out of all. Nice. So congratulations, Tiger Baby, for getting top one at the moment. Okay, next question. Which data type cannot be used in a calculated field? And the correct answer is, geometry is one of the data type we commonly use for map, but it is not possible to use it in a calculated field. Right, one last question. This one's really fun. Which of the following is not a Tableau file extension? No one get it right. Everyone fall for the taco trap, but it's actually a legitimate extension, file extension. It is actually used for a custom data connector, Tableau connector. Tracks is the one for Tableau extension. TPO is not a valid file extension. The right one is TPS. I think a lot of you might familiar with the TPS, Tableau preference file, where you need to adjust and add your custom color palette, you will go to Tableau preference file quite often. So yeah, that ends it. Congratulations, Tiger Baby. If you are online, please send us the best way to contact you. Maybe it's oh, okay, amazing person. So you will get a gift um, after the session. Um, But yeah, that's all for the introduction part. I hope you enjoy the game. Now we will have our first presenter, Stanley, to share his screen and share with us the topic today.
Cool. Thank you, Sherry, and I hope everyone enjoyed the game. And, usually you have a hard class, you start with something fun, and it's going to go horrible down there. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay. Today, I will bring a session here.
Share the...
Thank you. Good catch. I just assumed that the AI did the job. It's sharing for me.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So today, I'm bringing a session on AI and BI. And just to clarify this upfront, I'm not going to be talking about any native function in Tableau that's AI related. We are actually going to illustrate a case study where we built Tableau into the process of developing our AI project. When you hear AI, you might be thinking people are using it as a buzzword. And yes, today I will be using it as buzzword to some extent, but we are going to see how Tableau, AI, BI can interact together to achieve some results that are never achievable without a combination or any of these components missing. Before we start, a little bit about myself. My name is Stanley Gai. I'm a fourth-year business analytics student at Bucknell University. I'm interning as a business intelligence developer with this organization called HealthRise. They do healthcare analytics, and part of my responsibility is developing and maintaining the hospital healthcare system dashboards up and going. I'm also a Tableau academic ambassador, just as the other amazing ambassadors in the room and hybrid online. They're doing some amazing jobs to get a community together to share and improve, connect, and do some great stuff. And thanks again, Sherry, for hosting everything. This is an incredible opportunity for everyone here. Typically, I don't call my agendas because nobody is going to remember any agenda the moment they walk out of the meeting room. We are going to call the things we are going to hear today items to get inspired. Of course, we are going to go through some basic understanding of how AI is operating, how it is existing in today's the world of analytics. And we're going to see how AI can be related, relevant, and be part of your analytics project or the way your team develop your data products. And most importantly, how Tableau and you as a business intelligence professional can be part of this process. After we go through some theoretical slides, we're going to see how AI and BI, most importantly, how Tableau was able to build into the AI development process from a real case example that we developed at Bucknell University. And of course, we're going to wrap up with something we learned from building Tableau into our AI process. And first, you might be looking at this chart, and because you use Tableau so much, you will be questioning me, what is the y-axis? And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. It's a metrics calculated by Google. Basically, how many people are searching this term AI on google.com. As you can probably tell, after this ChatGPT thing, everyone start to get into AI. They want to understand what is AI, what can it do, how to build it, and what does it mean that we are living with AI in this age. This is true for not only individuals, it is very true for the businesses as well, because everyone is asking for, where is my AI? Your senior executives or your directors and managers might be thinking, how can we loop AI into our business process? How can we build AI at home? And many of these cases, there's no AI running in your organization before you start to think about it. And you might be able to hire some AI professionals, but there's no one really have a process of translating your business logic into the data logic where AI is sitting above, which make this whole thing very problematic. We know AI is so useful. There is a lot of use cases for it. It is timely and efficient, it's scalable. If you have a manual process that is costing you human labor and all of the other cost, AI might be actually a great solution for that if you want to expand that operation further and your manual process wouldn't be able to catch up anymore. However, people are always thinking more than what they're capable of learning. They want to dive into AI, but they don't know how to do it right, which is what happens here when you probably heard about this term garbage in, garbage out. When you throw your garbage data into your AI algorithm and you just click run and hope for the best, you're going to be sitting in front of a computer screen having great hope, but receiving pretty much nothing. There is this crazy imagination that people have that they think we're just going to dump everything to AI and somehow it's going to create some sort of values without paying attention to it. It is in reality not the case because when you have garbage data, garbage context, and garbage processing your AI, there's no way you're going to get great results. And in this case, what is garbage data? There will be noise in the training data. There will be missing data points. There will be inaccurate data errors, data entry errors in the data you are feeding AI. That is not going to work. What is garbage context? Most of the time, even if we have the good data, but the data is not targeted to the right problem, or there's no one formulating that business logic to the data logic, things are going to crash. And most importantly, what is the process of translating your business logic to the data logic? That process is oftentimes undefined, which brings to the three types of garbage we are talking about here. There might be a lot of garbage and AI going on in your mind today, but the topic of today is how can we use Tableau to help? Because Tableau is helping people to see and understand, most importantly, make sense of data and take action on it. This is a great starting point to think about how BI and BI professionals can be part of the AI and broader analytics team. To make that argument clear, let's first think about how we have been using Tableau or business intelligence in general before. We think about software like Tableau and other software as well, similar softwares. What they can do is they can build your reporting, they can build dashboards, they can inform people about what have happened in your organization so people can do analytics, get insights, and make decisions from there. And in the business operation lifecycle, Tableau typically sits right in between when you have the outcome and you want to see the outcome to reevaluate your process, to make your strategic decision, and go from there. It's great, it's working. Most of the Tableau users are using Tableau for reporting, either financial, operational, tactical. Sometimes you can call the dashboard presenting real-time data, but that real-time data is actually close to the past, very close to the present, but it's still outcome. It's some data has been generated. So we have been focusing on using Tableau, reporting the outcome of a decision that is already made and the process is already executed. But we have never thought about what Tableau can do way before an action is executed. In our case, we are trying to help the AI team, the analytics professional, to fill their gaps because remember the three types of garbage we were talking about: garbage data, garbage context, and garbage process. There can be great machine learning and AI engineers. They can do their technical stuff so well, but if you don't understand the business logic, don't understand the little grains of details in your data, why certain data are missing, why there is trend, why there is abnormal seasonality, things like that. If there's no good process to identify these garbage from your organization, there is no good call for your AI results. However, we as business intelligence professionals, we are great at talking to our stakeholders, understanding their needs, trying to map the business logic together with the data logic. Why don't we try to think of a way to help out in this situation, right? Today, we are going to look at Tableau from a very different perspective. Instead of thinking about it as a reporting tool, we are actually going to use Tableau today or from now on as a diagnostic. It's an interactive exploratory tool. And after this presentation, I'm going to convince you Tableau can help you to gather business context that will never be discovered without having Tableau built into the process. Tableau can help you to align stakeholder interests, audit data quality issues, and most importantly, to make sense of the data around your stakeholders, in between your SMEs and the technical team, and build something that will be otherwise impossible. I know there is a lot going on. There's a bullet points and talking so fast, you're getting a little bit confused and lost. Let's bring all of our arguments back to the ground. We like the sky, it's shiny outside, but we want to be talking off the ground. And today here, I'm bringing a use case that we actually deployed at Bucknell University, where we followed the logic we just defined and built Tableau into our AI process. First of all, let's look at a problem that we are trying to solve. There's a lot of text on the screen. You don't have to look at it. Basically, we are trying to help the university register to schedule our final exams every semester. So this process, as you can probably tell, it occurs twice a year. In the past, before we started to build all of this AI analytics thing, there was a register. He has been working on this seat to schedule final exams for 10 years. And this is our invaluable assets. He is our biggest SME who knows the grains of details, how things works, and everything we pretty much need to build into this AI thing is all in his brain. But the only problem we had is this person has never taken an AI or machine learning class. So when you talk to him, what are the model constraints, what are the parameters, what are the features of this capture, he has no idea about what we are talking about. So that's about our big actor in the game, the SME. More about a problem. We have thousands of students, hundreds of classes, and we have a week of final exam block to finish these hundreds of exams that these thousands of students has to take. And as you can probably think of, there's going to be more classes than the available exam slots because there's only 6 days to take all of the 3-hour exam sessions for all of the classes. It is inevitable that we are going to have blocks of classes that share exam time. However, students are free to take whatever classes they're interested in taking. So there will be a lot of situations where every semester there will be a group of students that are booked to sit at multiple exams at the same time. And this process has been frustrating because every time that happens, they have to go through a manual process, sending email between people and trying to arrange to work things out. And this is not the register fault for assigning them to sit at different exam hall at the same time, because there are just simply too many possibilities of creating exam schedules. That possible a combination, that number is way beyond what we can think of. And realistically, it's just impossible to figure out a solution by hand that you can avoid any conflicts. So this is our original plan. If you are familiar with the logo, of course, on the right side is Tableau. In the middle, that is our AI and analytics friend. It's called Gurobi. It's a mathematical optimization tool. We are not going to expand on that, but that's our AI friend today. That's supposed to help us to create exam schedules and achieve a schedule that is close to no conflicts and no inconveniences. Our original plan is the technical team, which I was part of it, to meet with the stakeholders. We build something, that thing is going to magically create exam schedule, and we are going to build Tableau to visualize the schedule. Sounds like a typical process, right? But very quickly into this game, we realized a lot of problems. We, as the technical developers, we don't understand how this exam scheduling thing actually works. It sounds easy. There are classes, there are time slots. You have to assign classes to the time slots. But there are going to be classes with 100 people. There will be classes with 500 people. There will be classes that share the same course number, but they have different sessions. The whole game just looks so confusing for us. We don't know what to start, so we were just throwing everything to the AI friend and hope the best that things are going to work out. At the same time, our SME, who has worked on this driver's seat for 10 years to create exam schedules, pretty much using Excel and his master brain, he knows how to create exam schedule to a pretty good extent. It's not perfect schedule. There will be conflicts, but it's close to good, and he thinks he's minimizing it at most. So he knows a lot of the details that we don't know, but he doesn't know how to ask us because he never took this technical training before that we did. And as a result, the model we created, it's barely catch up with the real human. So we are basically saying a few weeks into this project that this AI thing sucks. It cannot compete with human at all, which is terrifying because we had high hope about this AI friend. And if you want to understand what actually happened, is there is a communication barrier between the technical team and the SME. How we talk to each other is every meeting we bring our laptop and open up our code to share, this is what we wrote, this is what we did, and our registered SME is going to be, oh, that's great. You guys put so much work. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. This looks awesome. And does it look awesome? Yes. I guess we spend time to code something and probably look awesome, but there's just no way for the SME to understand what we actually did. And there's no way to facilitate a conversation and get the details that we need to improve the accuracy of our AI and mathematical optimization models. So from here, we decided to change our game plan. Instead of having this Tableau to build the reporting layer, which is to visualize the schedule created by our AI friend, we actually thought to move it forward, which is the theory we were discussing prior. Let's use Tableau to try to bridge the gap between our SME and the technical team. And what happened after we tried to do that is something quite magical. We are going to show you the dashboard or this exploratory tool we build to help facilitate our conversation. So there is a lot of information going on the screen. The easiest thing to do is to not look at it at first. So basically the data we had were the student registration record, what classes they are taking, at what semester. We also had past semester data, so we can have seasonality trend and et cetera, that our AI friend is going to love it. Beyond that, we also have some faculty to class data, basically who's teaching which class and how many students is taking that class. There is thousands, if not millions of rows into this giant data set because every semester everyone take different classes and that table is just crazy big. In the past, our register had a tool using Excel and a very old school BI tool called Cognos to run live queries and to get some information about how many students is taking a combination of two different classes. In this case, he can use that overlap information to try to avoid booking people to sit at the same exam place. What we did in this case is we are trying to use this dashboard to mimic the way our AI friend make decision. So basically, how the AI friend works is it's going to find a solution in that mathematical optimization space that minimizes all of the penalties, which in our case is booking people into the same exam, booking people who take different classes to sit at the same time to take these exams. We want to avoid it, and there are also other inconveniences such as booking faculty members to sit at the same time to proctor two different exams. We want to avoid these penalties. That is how our AI friend tend to make decisions to achieve the optimal schedule. And in our case, we know the frustration our SME had before is every time he wants to have this penalty information, he has to run a query which take a few seconds. And when you think of how many combination of classes we actually have in reality, that number is countless. It is a number that you can never imagine. And you can already tell how much frustration that is creating to our SME already. So in this case, what we did is we pre-computed all of that possibility of that penalty overlap information and mimicking how our AI friend is going to make decision. We build this dashboard. It is not an exam schedule. The numbers here simply just shows you how many people are taking this combination of classes. You can group classes, you can click somewhere and see is there any seasonality trend in previous semesters. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them have weird trends. Suddenly people don't take and they start take this combination. And as you can probably tell, I'm going all over the place about this dashboard. This is exactly what happened in our case in every meeting we had with our SME since this tool is developed in Tableau. Is it a good thing? Absolutely yes, because with this tool, we are able to get hands-on to our data. We are able to address data quality issue. We were able to find out why there are classes that's supposed to have a match and overlap, why that number is showing 0 in our algorithm, why there are classes that only showed up one time and never appeared again. Well, the registrar said, well, the class changed name since a semester and after. This is the moment where we start to hear about our register, our SME started to explain the business logic in details. What we benefited from this process is something that look way more confusing, but we don't need to understand these. These are basically the model formulation for our AI friend to reach the final exam schedule and the optimal solution. If you want to end, it's basically we want to minimize all of the penalties while satisfying producing a feasible schedule. And without that Tableau tool, without having our SME to talk about the details, there's no way for us to reach this much of detail and understand the business problem to map the business logic into something as complicated as this. As a result of our implementation, we had great success. We have more than 3,000 students every semester can no longer experience any scheduling inconveniences or conflicts. And that number means our performance or our like a degree of convenience of exam scheduling improved by 63% because that's overlap and all of the inconveniences dropped by 63%. And the equivalent means we were saving our SME 4 weeks of time every semester to work on something more important. He no longer has to be confused with this big data sort of thing and take guesses and think he's doing great, even though there's no way for him to tell. What are the other wins? Of course, this Tableau tool that we built for our SME to explore and navigate the situation, unpacked what he knows and what we don't know, which is really valuable when you are trying to build a new analytics project, whether it's AI or anything. The requirements, the context are usually the part that decide whether this solution is actually going to work or no. We were able to clarify numbers, metrics, what you were talking. We were no longer showing that code to the SMA, which you should never do. We were showing something that he can understand, he are familiar with, and he can play around with using Tableau because everything were interactive. We can ask questions during the meeting, and he will take the dashboard back to do some analysis, to compare his past data and find out and bring the answer back to us. The whole process of communication, asking questions, getting the answers are invaluable for us and the success. What we would have lost if we didn't bring Tableau into this process. First of all, funding. This is a weird bullet point, but at the time, we were getting incremental fundings every time we work on something, show the results, and see whether this project deserves this future investment to continue going. And that process put a lot of pressure when you are trying to bring your AI friend into the game, because people don't understand it, they have never seen it, they have some hope in it, but they don't have trust in it. By looping Tableau into this process, we were able to quickly build something tangible and showing our stakeholders we were making progress, we are advancing, we are gathering more information, and the good stuff is yet to come. That way, we were able to acquire funding and a lot of support and buy-in from our stakeholders. With Tableau, we were also able to reach confidence and quality over data, context, and processes. We eliminated a lot of data quality issues. We eliminated a lot of confusions and the missing information our AI friend wants to know but didn't know. And of course, we were able to bring a culture of analytics into our exam scheduling process. Most importantly, we didn't lose the people. When people think about AI and all of the cool stuff that's happening, they tend to think AI is going to replace someone's job. But in our process, by using Tableau as an intermediary to map the business logic into the data logic, we were able to involve our SME and make him feel he's making a contribution that would otherwise be missing. This is a great use case of combining your speed, your efficiency, your analytics cool stuff with your people, which is assets for every organization. And here is our SME in the blue shirt. His name is Wayne. He is the register working for us for 10 years. He knows everything that we don't know. And I'm glad Tableau was able to bridge that gap in between us. A few takeaways, things we can learn from today. Sometimes people say nowadays organizations are making a choice between AI or BI. It's an either or situation. But this use case just told us you can actually have both. And when they are working together, you get more information, you achieve greater results at the end. Tableau can not only handle reporting, it can be an intermediary, it can be an exploratory tool within your organization. It doesn't have to be the final product. It doesn't have to be or just be that financial reporting dashboard. It can be this our friend to help people understand the logic, to help people make sense of data, and help people to communicate together to build great things. And lastly, after going through all of the concepts and the use case today, do you have a use case in your mind that you can apply in your organization? If it's something possible, it's great takeaway for today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I'm open for any questions if you have any. And of course, thank you everyone in person, online, and Sherry hosting the event as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is great. Very interesting real world case. I I can imagine how difficult it is scheduling hundreds of exams in 1 week. I never realized, but it is like very heavy computation.
Yes.
With all the combination. And also like you're emphasizing because a lot of the time people do like all the uh analytic work and then they're like BI people visualize this better to make it look prettier, but that's not just what BI can do. A lot of time it can be used in the early discovery work for sure. I personally use it quite often for identifying like data issue from the beginning and just look at what are some of the interesting insight. Maybe you're not planned initially, but they exist in the data. So I like how you're describing from that angle, which is kind of important. Um, I do have a lot of questions. I like to ask a few before I open the floor. Like, I just want to clarify for your end result that say the register 4 weeks is actually your AI friend. You run like a final schedule, right? Through
Correct.
the AI model. Okay. Um, and it was kind of complicated for him to understand initially, and it was not accurate that great because you're still seeing problem with the final scheduling result, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because at the beginning, our model performed worse than the register himself.
Mhm.
And the reason that is happening is because we were not able to formulate the reality into that
Mhm.
mathematical optimization model.
Okay.
The more we can get out of our SMA, the better and the more accurate we are going to get.
Mhm.
But we didn't have a good mean of communication because if we know exactly what each other wants, that's great. But the SMA, he doesn't know what we want, and we don't know what he knows. And that was frustrating for us. After we had the Tableau dashboard, when everyone has something to play around, to see, to make comparisons, to take notes, and do all of the analyses, that's the moment where he starts to bring up the little grains of details. Oh, this class changed course name at semester X, Y, and Z. There is 10 different sessions for this course. There is this class. They all have to be, or this group of classes, they need to be proctored at the same time. So all of these details that he can recall when he looks at the data are the things that our AI friend suffered at finding the optimal solution.
Essentially the AI was loading some dirty data or unclean data that with Tableau visualization, he helped clarify a lot of the details to make model performance better.
Yes, because when our AI friend doesn't know what to do, it's going to make some random guesses and hope they're landing at not so wrong place, but not so great place. When we formulate the logic constraint, what are the possible ways you should be looking at? Our AI friend were performing much better than before without this actual information.
I see. This is really cool. I mean, you're asking what potential use cases for other organization. This is definitely applicable, repeatable for all other university. I can see middle school, any school that has exams.
Yeah,
I see
definitely.
this is something very useful. So are you kind of extend this to, I don't know, like spring, some different semesters, midterm exam? How is the sustainability of this tool?
So I handed off the package to our younger generations of people who are working on this. But what we do know is it is a process that is live, it's built in-house, it's running, and it's creating our exam schedules every semester. If you Google back now, exam schedule, there are some news articles about this if you happen to have time to look for it.
If you don't mind sharing the link in the group chat, that would be
Sure,
great.
I will find it.
Anyone else have any questions? No? Anyone online, feel free to speak up. If not, I have, if you can share any relevant article, and I'm also curious about the name of the AI friend you mentioned. I'm just curious how, like, university nowadays, what kind of AI tool they use.
So it's more in the scope of operation research, which that tool is called Groby, and it formulates optimization problem. So basically, you're looking to solve an objective. You're maximizing something, minimizing something. In this case, we are trying to minimize our scheduling conflicts.
Mm.
And you have to define where can you look for these solutions. You cannot book more than 500 exams at the same time. You don't have enough rooms. You cannot book the same faculty to proctor 2 exams at the same time. So these things are called constraints. You want to look for your objective to minimize something within the constraints. And the decision the AI friend is making is which slot I'm assigning this exam to take place, where and when.
So you can have one class with 500 students, but they cannot even take the exam in the same room because you just don't have the capacities.
Exactly. So these are the things actually we were trying to get it. We are trying to get these pieces of information from our SME so we can define it into our optimization model.
Right, I see. Does the SME even worried about his job security because or does he have other busy stuff to work on anyway?
I haven't worked in that office before, so I don't know. But I think the important takeaway from our process is we are trying to loop human into this process of developing our new analytics and AI and mathematical optimization. Because before that, before our involvement, maybe they thought, oh, AI is going to take away our jobs, right? But throughout this development process, they actually feel they are involved. We are asking questions. The whole time we were playing around with the dashboard and taking notes on everything he is saying, because there's no other way we can get to that information.
We need the human knowledge.
So exactly.
Makes sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, good day. My name is Toby Otunsi. Great presentation, by the way. So the question I had is, how did you find this problem? Because in the university, right, there's so many problems that you could solve, but how did you come about this particular problem to solve?
That's a wonderful question that I never thought about how to answer it. Basically, it kind of worked two ways. One is we had a group of technical team made of a combination of faculty and people like me. We were looking for a problem to solve, and at the same time, the register office did have some issues. They didn't ask for it, but because every semester, if the conflicts are created, if you book people to sit at 5 different exams at the same time, they're going to be yelling at the deans. Okay. So we have a lot of yelling. We have a lot of emails of people yelling at each other. And we just found that's a great time to work on something like this. And it turned out great. We had a 63% improvement compared to if nothing is deployed.
Is this like a class project or it's more like a part-time job or volunteer job?
It's more like a part-time job. I wouldn't be working on this if I don't get paid.
So school paid student for trying to solve any like technical challenge with AI.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's fun to explore, and at the same time, we are not offering this to the market. So if you fail, it's less expensive.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah. How big is your team?
Initially, it was a team of 3 students, myself included, and 3 faculty, professors, mentors. And they're continuing this right now every semester to make some new addition to basically capture more information and build something more precise than what we built. And right now that team is growing. I'm no longer with them anymore because they're diving into some really fancy AI stuff. But the team is growing. It's fascinating to see this is actually running live every semester to create schedules. It's not something you build and you save it in the box and you never open it.
This is great. Hope that answers.
Yeah. Thank you. How long has the product been in production? How long have you been running the product?
So we created we were started to work on this in the summer of 2023.
Okay.
And we used it to create a schedule for the fall semester.
2024.
So it has been running since then.
Oh, nice. So fall of 2024, and we're right now in the spring of 2025.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much it's been running for a year and a half,
Yeah.
I believe. But the fascinating part is, yes, we have our AI friend, our optimization in place. Human is still in the process. Like the register is still, he still has to review everything that our AI friend is making that decision. It's not perfect, and it is very hard to get 100% perfect because you are mapping a reality problem into mathematical formulation, which will never be 100% covering every picky details that happen in reality.
We have food.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we're gonna take I know we're a little bit running late. We're gonna be back around 6:50. So everyone in person will go grab food really quick. And then we will resume the second half around 6:50. So if you can stay online, that would be great. If you wanna just leave for your dinner too and come back, that's also fine. But we'll be back 6:50. Yeah, next we'll have Megha to continue her sharing today.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Megha Narang, and today I'm going to be presenting on the topic making tables fun with super tables and tableau tables. Before I start with the presentation, I realized Stanley and I share the same interest around memes. So I also have a meme, and I just wanted to ask question to people. I think so. Yeah, to people here or maybe on the call. How many of you have been in this kind of situation before?
Every client.
Yeah. I think most of us have been in this kind of situation. And if you have not been, I mean, you've been probably very lucky and hope that stays the same. But we do have a solution now for this kind of problem. So, and we are going to talk about it. The agenda for today's presentation is introduction to super tables, then going through some of the key features of super tables. Then we talk about super tableau tables. And again, same process, going through some of the key features. Then we try and compare between the tableau table and super table. And if time permits, we will go through the demo and just see in real time these features that we have talked about, maybe pick a few, and also a question and answer session. So let's start with a question again. How many of you have heard about super tables? Sherry, Stanley, Watson, anybody on the call? Just say yes, no, anything should be okay.
No, we have one no.
Okay, that's fine. So, all right. So we
One
do
yes.
have a mixed bunch of audience who have heard about super tables and who have not heard about super tables. So let's see what super tables is. Super tables is an extension which has been introduced by InfoTopics. Just giving a few more details. Some of the supported versions of super tables are 2018.2 and later. On server side, again, it's 2018.2. And on Tableau Cloud. How can we install super tables? It can be installed through T-Rex file, and it can also be used using, excuse me, tablet page. We do get the trial version option, so I would highly recommend you guys to go and definitely try out this feature. This is really cool feature that I have come across, and it's really, I think it can help us solve a lot of problems around tables on Tableau. Okay, so the very first feature of super tables is pivoting, something similar to Excel. It helps, it allows users to create columns like we can do on Excel. Uh, and the example that you can see here, let me just bring in my pointer. So here you can see you can, on the right-hand side, you have the options similar to you have an option on Excel side. You can choose the columns that you would want to pivot, and you can just drag them on the row grouping. You can do that also. Like there are a few shortcuts of doing that as well. Like I mentioned on the right-hand side, you can do that directly. Just drag a column that you have on the view. You can drag it on the top, and you would be able to pivot it, group it, and be able to drill down and aggregate based on your liking requirement. So that's something that we have not been able to do on Tableau side initially. Super tables make it really quick and easy for us. The other features is a lot around columns formatting, columns order, showing a show height, auto size. So one of the feature that like on Tableau side, if you guys like have, I'm sure you guys have worked on Tableau, right? So when you it's, I think, so one thing is very frustrating that you cannot allow the users or the end users basically to add columns, and that's something, that's a request that I have got most of the times, that they would want that kind of flexibility. Hey, can we just add or remove columns based on our requirement? We don't need probably 50 columns right now based on, like, we would want to just do analysis on 4 columns, right? Or we would want to do analysis on 50 columns. So it sort of maintains the balance and the visibility if we have that kind of flexibility. So talking about the very first feature here, that is changing the order. It's super easy. The users can do it online. You can just change the order. And whatever feature I'm showing here today, it's not from the developer standpoint. It's all that this all can be done by the end user. So that is like, that gives a lot of flexibility to the end users here. The second feature that I've mentioned is being able to show height. Again, you can do it through the just by dragging it from the top, or you can just check or uncheck columns that you can see on the right hand side. You can also sort the columns directly, so you don't have to. I think so. This feature is already there on Tableau's tables, but this makes it a little bit more easy. And the last one is we can also sort them. So again, these are some of the features that I have mentioned. There could be more here, like that's worth exploring. You can auto size the column. So if let's say the name of the columns titles is very large, you can directly do it. The users can do it themselves. So that's also one pretty cool feature that we have. The next feature that we have on Super Tables is applying filters. There are 2 ways that you can apply filters on super tables. One is inline filters, and another one is advanced filters. The inline filters is the one that you can directly apply on the view. So you have just, like you can see here on the example, on the column side, you just have to type what you need, and it will directly filter instead of you going to filter navigator. You do have an option to go to the filter section also, but this is, I think this is something that is really easy, quick and easy. The second option is, let's say if you want to apply a little bit more advanced filters, you can do it through advanced filter setting. But based on my understanding, you can give this kind of flexibility to the user, like either the inline filter option or advanced filter option. So you will have to be really, you have to check with the users what kind of flexibility would they need. The other thing that I found very interesting was the formula editor. So here, if you can see, there is another feature that we have. This you will have to activate on the super table side, which is pretty easy. You just have to follow a certain steps, create a parameter, and you're good to go. And then there'll be a pop-up that will be visible on the right-hand side. So if you would have noticed in the previous slides, we just had columns and filters as tabs on the right-hand side, whereas now we have one more tab that is formulas. So you click on the formulas tab and you see on the right-hand side, you have, let's say, the you want to set a sales target for next year. You can just add another column of sales target that you can do through formula editor. So the users can directly just now add columns as well, which were probably not there in the past, right? So that kind of flexibility is there in super tables with formula editor option. However, there are certain limitations to this formula editor. As of now, you cannot create any complex calculations on this. You cannot create LODs. You cannot use string operators, especially on the if else side. If you see the second option that is on the right hand side that I'm showing currently, there's a if else formula editor option. So you can give the conditions, and based on that, you would have another column popping up on your screen, wherein you can directly apply some certain conditions, multiplications, additions, whatever you want to do with your measures, and you on top of that you can also color code it. So that's something that is really easy and useful. That gives a lot of flexibility to the end user to do things, analyze things without feeling the need to download the data in Excel, right? Or on CSV. So you can do pretty much everything on Tableau Cloud now with this features, with this extension now. So yes, this is one more feature that Super Tables has provided to us. Again, the next one is charts. So I think what Super Tables is trying to do, they would want to eliminate the need of adding charts as well, probably. Or let's say if you want to just quickly check, do your analysis, hey, I do have a certain data with me, right? But how would that look like on chart? Or like I do see a lot of numbers, but maybe just I want to select a certain section from my tabular view and want to visualize it. So here you can use that using charting options. So as you can see on the right hand side, uh, here we have just selected a certain portion of the entire data that we have with us. And you have the options to select different kind of charts. You can format them, though again, with certain caveats, certain limitations. But again, I mean, to do a quick analysis, this is a pretty I mean, interesting feature that has been provided to us, and it does give a lot of different kind of charts which we would need on a regular basis to do certain analysis, like quick analysis from our side. So again, the charting option is also very interesting that you can explore. You can also download this. You can add labels. You can customize it based on your requirement. Um, Write back feature. I think we have heard a lot about it, right? A lot of people ask about it. There are a lot of concerns about it, like whether it's like security concerns, right? Whether we would want to share our data with external party or not, right? That concern is still there, existing. But I think with super tables, it's much more trustworthy. That's what I have seen compared to, because it's known. Compared to other extensions. So people still are okay sharing some of the data with them. But again, overall, you will have to, the organizations planning to use this write back feature, they have to do their own due diligence before they share their data, right? Decide to do that. But again, if you ever decide to do that, I think it opens a door for, do a lot of stuff on Tableau directly. You would be able to write back, you would be able to add comments, you would be able to update the existing columns. So if you can see here on the bottom side, if you like on the left hand side, we have the option to just edit, and we have also the option to add comments. So these are some of the feature that I'm highlighting. If you want to explore more about the write back feature, I think Super Tables have they also provide the trial version. They also give some demos, so you can definitely reach out to them and get to know more about it. You can collaborate, you can correct the data, you can add the data, you can add columns, you can do a lot of stuff. So I think this is worth exploring. So if your organization is interested in knowing about this, you can just reach out to them. Input tables is the name that they have been using to utilize to showcase this write back feature. The last feature that I want to highlight is the themes and export function. Though limited, but Super Tables does have design themes. It lets you format your tables, but it doesn't let the user do that. You, as a developer, have to reach out to your user and then just check with them that you can update on the format extension side, and you can give the theme as per their requirement, but it does have that kind of flexibility.
We have one quick question. Is it possible to add new rows in the table or just editing existing ones?
I don't think so. We can add rows as of now, but we can edit existing ones, as far as my understanding is.
I remember I saw an example that there's one field that's round number and someone can just double click and change
Yes,
the
yes,
number.
you can definitely edit that. That's what I was showing on the screen earlier. But adding a row, but that's a very good question. I think we can just check if it's already there. We can reach out to Super Tables and check with them, because, as I said, it's something that whatever I could explore, I'm sharing it with you guys here. But I think they're pretty open about having these demos. If your organization is interested in doing that, just go with the demo, take trial versions, and I think you can explore it yourself. Yeah, the last one is the export option. You can export in PDF, you can export in CSV. That's something that we have been able to do on Tableau side as well. You can do it, you can export Excel also. But one interesting thing that has come with Super Table is that you can export with the formatting that you have already applied on the online version. So let's say if you have experimented with a lot of stuff and you just want to export that conditional formatting and everything, you would be able to do that, and your Excel sheet will already be formatted. You don't have to do any more work around that. So these are some of the features that I wanted to highlight. And last one is the dashboard actions. Again, Super Tables would be able to interact with your other sheets as well. So let's say if you're applying any filter, you can apply it directly on the table that you have put on the Super Tables, on the dashboard from Super Tables. And it is going to interact with the existing sheets like you see on the examples that I've shared here. You can apply multiple filters, you can apply single filters, like there's a lot of flexibility around that. So these are some of the features that I was able to explore on Super Table side, but I just wanted to ask if you guys would want to explore more on this. What feature excites you the most?
We have one more question.
Okay.
How does it handle large data sets?
Okay, so I think that's a question even I had. So large data set, it's able to handle as like similar to the existing Tableau features, the Tableau functionalities that we have. The one thing that I'm going to be talking about later is that a certain limitation that we have on Tableau in terms of number of dimensions that we have. we did not see that limitation on super tables. So earlier we had 50 dimensions limitation, number of columns can be kept limited. So that's something that we saw that we do not have that kind of limitation. Do you see any other question, Sherry?
There's a comment. I think we have audience who use super table. One issue I've been facing with super tables is that every time I add new field to an already built table with super table, the order of columns changes and I need to rearrange them every time. Is this expected behavior for the tool?
Yes, so I also had the same question. Thank you for bringing that up. So I reached out to Super Tables team and I told them, hey, every time I can't just be rearranging these column orders, right? So yes, when we are adding a new column, it rearranges the column. So that's a little bit of
reset.
Yes, the columns are just shuffled.
Oh.
But it's just for the developer, right? But when it's online or when we have the published version, I don't think so. That will be a problem as long as you set a parameter. So a parameter has to be set uh, before we start with this entire process. So that's something that has been already mentioned on the super table side that, even to activate the formula editor, and that's the answer that was given to me by super table representative that, if you set a parameter in advance, you wouldn't have those kind of issues or would be lesser. So yes, so that was the response that I received, but I still saw that the order changed because I tried adding a few more columns and later again the columns order changed. But after resetting it, it was like fine the next time. But that was a great question. Thank you for bringing
Yeah,
that up.
thank you.
Yeah, so which feature excites you the most about super tables?
I think the ability to edit like an existing field or add a new field. We always have something. I do a lot of like price changes. So we always find an issue where we want to recommend price points and put things into basically like an Excel sheet. And all the formulas are done, but we just need that one input. So it's something that we've always struggled to like get out of such a manual process in Excel, but kind of putting it into something like that might work. So
I
Yeah.
think you can build simulator in Tableau now with that function. Because you have like a one number input, you change it. and
Yes,
you have
yes,
follow.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Build simulator, do your initial analysis. I think that would make things really quick and easy for you to do. And you can even visualize them now, right?
It's
Before
very
proposing.
interesting concept that in the visualization, there's a table and you can visualize on that table.
Before
on your
proposing it to the end user. So that's something that I think was really interesting. They have like what I realized that they tried to take care of everything from their side, like visualization element, right back element, formula. Though they are like again formula editor, I saw some of the limitations, but I think anyways from end users perspective, I don't think so they would want to do complex calculation. That's something that's already done. So if you just want to, let's say, change the target, or if you just want to add or subtract anything, right, or you just want to combine two fields, so you can do that. So that's yeah. Okay, so I have just provided this link. If you want to try super tables, this is the link. If you're interested, I can also share this deck with you guys. So just share your email ID on the chat
on
and
the sign sheet.
yeah, and we can share. So again, this is the feature that I explored, and in our organization, some of us are using it. So that's the reason I wanted to share it with you, a wider audience. Okay, now the next feature of Tableau. Before I start, talking in detail about it, just wanted to again ask, have you ever worked with Tableau tables now? It's not super tables, it's Tableau tables. And if yes, how do you think it's different or better than the traditional tables at Tableau? Anybody on the call? Or maybe I can change my question. Have you heard about Tableau tables? before.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, I think that would be pretty interesting then. And this is a feature we already have in Tableau. So again, before I start with it, I think I've already mentioned this, but with Tableau tables also, the column number limits, you would see that you don't have that limit. Because, I tell you what, there has been so many times that I have to tell my counterparts that, hey, I know you have 150 columns, but I can just bring you 50, give you 50. So, and then they would want, hey, if I want to add these columns, right? For my own analysis, what should I do? And I don't have an answer for them. So I think this is something that, Tableau has tried to take care of, which is really a good job done. And one more thing that we have observed in Tableau tables is it was faster compared to the normal traditional tables that we have been using, and didn't require a lot of hacks or workarounds. So that ways, I think, because you don't have to play around with it or implement a lot of hacks, I think that the speed is impacted, right? And the performance gets better. So that could be one of the reasons behind it, its performance. All right, before I talk in detail, what is Tableau Table? It is an extension introduced by Tableau in 2024.3. But we have seen some of, like even in 2024.2 also, you can use Tableau tables, because I have seen it somewhere that people were saying that, you can use it in some of the previous versions of Tableau, but not going too far, right, behind. So still, it's it has started in 2020. It has been introduced in 2024.3. And it's again a Viz extension, which was introduced by Tableau. How can we add Viz extensions? If you see on the left-hand side here, on the marks card, you would have an option of, I think I should have enlarged it. Sorry for that. So add extension option, we do have that. And when we click on that, to be and if we have time, I'll walk you through that. So in the add extension option, you can see all the extensions that are available from Tableau. It also includes super tables and Tableau tables. So you have the flexibility to go into that add extension option and choose. For super tables, you would need a T-Rex file. So you would be able to install that once you have the trial version, and then you're good to go. With this, I don't think so you need any extension file. You just have to just follow whatever guidelines they tell you to follow, and you're good to go. Okay, on Tableau tables, again, some of the similar features that you would see that we had on super tables. Tableau tables, you have show hide column. So here I'm trying to show like how we can activate that. And then we do have an option on the, let me just, show here. Once you activate these, then you have the option on the right-hand side to go and choose check or uncheck the columns. As long as they are on the view, you would be able to show or hide them. So if the developer has added those columns on your view, you would be able to work with them. So yeah, you would be able to work with your existing columns, remove them, do your own analysis. And that's how the show hide columns option work. You can also customize, you can format the individual columns in Tableau tables, adjust the font size. So that's something that is not available on super tables. The single columns formatting, if you have had any instances wherein the users wanted to just format individual columns, right? So you can do that. You can change the font, you can change the size, color, text alignment, whatever you want. You can resize, you can rename the columns, which we cannot do on super tables. So there are a few variations. You would see certain similarities and differences between these two features, but you'll have to maybe pick and choose. Tableau tables is something that's free easily available. Super tables may come with a cost. You can also apply conditional formatting. You can see on the right hand side, I tried to do it on profit, sales, like different kind. You can also add charts based on the different kind of rules that you give. You will be able to color code them. You will be able to format them accordingly, and then you can see directly the like whatever targets you have set for yourself for the team that would be clearly visible on the table itself. And that's how you can do it. If you see, you can apply these rules, rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, how many ever rules you want to apply. And just 1, 2, 3 would be like basically the precedence given to different rules. Another feature is filter options. So you can, if you just want to have single select filters, right? You can do that directly on the table side. You don't need a filter navigator for that. But again, that's a limitation. You can just have a single select filter. But you don't have a multi-select filter here. But if you see on the right hand side, see the arrows, even for the super tables, like if you have a calculation already, you can implement, you can bring in these icons as well on your tables, which was otherwise a lot of exercise initially, right? So these color codes, these single formatting, directly having filters on the columns itself, being able to slide through the filters, something which is pretty cool. And also on the right hand side, I have not mentioned it in my deck somewhere, but on the right hand side, you see a search table. So once, let's say if you just want to search any term here, right? Let's say Texas. If you just write Texas there, it will highlight. So instead of adding a highlighter, you can directly just add a term to the search bar. The next one is formatting. So similar to super tables, whatever you can export in Excel. Once you export in Excel, and you can see on the right hand side, that's the small button that you have. You would be able to export through that. And whatever formatting you had, whichever columns you had selected, right? It had more columns, but whatever columns were on the screen, those columns were selected and those formatting was selected, and we got everything directly on Excel, similar to super tables. So yeah, that's also another feature. Similar to super tables, again, we have the flexibility to apply actions on dashboard based on like it can talk to other slides as well. So yeah, I do have comparisons as well, but I just, before we talk in detail about this slide, I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what other use cases can you think of using these super tables or Tableau tables? Anybody on the call?
I mean, it's already saving tons of time because
Yeah.
for every feature it goes through, I spend hours to just build it in Tableau because
Yeah.
client wanted before. So knowing that there is extension, you can just do it in one click is already a time saver.
Right. Just one point I wanted to highlight. Let's say if you want to publish this on the server on cloud, you may want to see that you have appropriate permissions already to be able uh, that you like your user should be able to see this feature. So the admin should be able to provide those permissions to you. Unless and until you have those permissions, these tables may not work. So that's something that we will have to get resolved, or just let the team know that we are planning to use this Tableau tables or showcase it or want to like explore it and publishing it online, so that you should be able to see all the functionalities of whatever you're seeing on desktop version, on online version as well.
We have a comment. I'm not sure if it's relevant to what you just explained. Try and move user from Excel.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah.
The use case, I think, yes,
Information.
like right, because now, like, I think that's the biggest disadvantage. Everybody wants to, like, my first slide, can we export this in Excel? Everything looks great because they want to do their own analysis. And if they are able to do that themselves on Tableau directly, they wouldn't want to export it to Excel because, again, that's an exercise for them. They have to do everything themselves, create visuals, like, or maybe just create their own calculations and all that stuff. You can just you can let go all that part if you're able to do it online. So yes, very interesting point. Okay, most of this we've already talked about it. We have covered, like, just putting that in a summary here. So, like, super tables introduced by Infotopics, it's a third-party tool. Tableau table is an in-house tool. Um, in terms of pricing, we don't have an exact idea of how much pricing that is for like on super table side. That's something that you have to go and check with super tables if you're interested, if your company is interested in exploring that. But Tableau tables is free as long as you're using the version where it is available. And filter options, super tables has multi-select filter option as well. Tableau tables has, as of now, only single select. Export options, again, PDF, CSV, and Excel. Export with or without formatting because it has CSV option as well. Whereas Tableau tables, I think you can export with formatting, export it to Excel. Filter actions, I think we saw both of them have the same sort of functionality. In terms of column functions, there are a lot more, but yeah, removing column from the dashboard. You can add new columns using formulas, which you can't do on Tableau tables, but you can show hide existing columns. Conditional formatting, sort of available in both the sides. Sorting options, yes, available. Number of dimensions, we have tested these many number of dimensions. You can try and explore it from your end as well. So far we did not see any limitation. And renaming of column, which is available on Tableau tables. So Tableau table has one here, whereas super tables, we did not see this option. Single column formatting, again, Tableau tables has that. Super tables, you can do certain kind of formatting, but you will have to do it, like the developer will have to do it on the format extension side. Write back, formula editor, pivot, grouping, all these are available in super tables. We did not see it in Tableau tables as of now. Dashboard actions, again, available on both the tables. Yes, so this is what I had on my slides. Do you guys have any questions? Or anybody on the call?
I think it's great to know they exist. So if the client is really asking a lot Excel function, you can start exploring those.
Yeah, and you can let them know, hey, there is a feature. Like if you're using the most recent version, we can definitely have it handy.
I think for end user, it's enable, I would say mid-level manager or developer end user because so far, because the interaction on dashboard is so limited, it's most likely senior. We do have a lot of end user who wants to actively play with it. They download the spreadsheet and they build their own sheet, but this allow them to just do it on the dashboard. So it make visualization more fun for mid-level or hands-on.
Yes, absolutely.
End user.
If you guys are okay for staying on for a couple of more minutes, I can just show you the example, the demo version that I have. We'll just quickly walk through that. Hope everybody's okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so I created this very, very simple dashboard for using super tables, Tableau tables, tried to keep it as similar as I could. And as you can see here, why is it so slow?
Tableau.
Nice.
So on the development side, it just takes a little bit of time in loading, and everything is same. You load the data, you whatever column like dimensions measures you add here, your users would be able to see that. If the measure or dimension is not here, they won't be able to play around with it. So you have to make sure that that's here. Format extensions, if you see like here, the developer would have a lot more flexibility on general data appearance themes, whatever I mentioned, right? So if you go with the data, some more features would be available on formula editor here compared to what you have on the formula editor or the user. So while you're building a use case, you can definitely check with them, hey, what do you want? Maybe. And let's say if it's not already available on the data side, you do have the flexibility to work here and create calculations and add a lot more conditional formatting. Again, like a lot, I would say just go through that, explore that whenever you have some free time, but definitely worth exploring this the entire format extension here. And one thing I wanted to highlight, the parameter that I mentioned, right? You have to set a parameter. It's pretty simple. You have to create a parameter like you create usually and just add it here. It has to be a string parameter. So for example, I just added parameter super tables test2. So initially when you open, it will be workbook settings. And then you have to select this. It'll appear once you create the parameter. And then you would be able to maybe change the order, add a formula editor tab would be visible for you on the right-hand side once you create the parameter. Otherwise, it won't be. Adding extension, I mentioned, because I already have these Viz extensions, I'm able to see both of these. Otherwise, you can just go to add extensions, and you should be able to see the different options available, and you can choose between those. So you have super tables, you have Tableau tables.
Please, can you do that again?
Sorry?
Can you do that again? How did you get the extensions?
Okay, sure. So you go here in Marks card.
Okay.
And you do have the option add extension.
Okay.
Yeah. You can even see the Sankey extension that they have introduced. If you have not explored that, so here Sankey, Tableau tables, super tables, or you can just search.
Yeah, there are a lot of extensions, but you also always want to check with your company, like
Yes.
security
Whether they
team.
want.
Some of them might have security issue, but like that's why Megha was introducing the Tableau table. That is a Tableau extension that's safer than external third-party extension.
So if I, let's say, built by Tableau, so I just see two, Sankey and Tableau table. And like there are a lot more free sandbox, local Viz extension. Once you have that T-Rex file downloaded, you would be able to access this extension, super table extension directly. So yes, this is the one feature that I want to highlight. As I was saying, right inside you see columns, you see filters, you see formula. You can add the formula name and you just click on add button, or you can go to if else formula. Here is the formula guide that you will get. It will give you the the guidelines, whatever you can do, cannot do using formula editor. And then the next one is input tables. As of now, I'm running into the trial version, so I just have to add in my details and password, and I can log in and I would be able to go to the dashboard. Before doing that, I just have to maybe add one function, username function. If you guys are familiar with username function, usually we use it in RLS, row level security. So similar to that, we just have to create one calculated field and add it here. And Tableau tables, similar. I showed you how the extensions are. So here you see table, Tableau table. Whatever you see on the view, you would be able to show height based on. Okay, sorry about that. You would be able to see, as of now, I'm not showing sum of profit change. I can just uncheck and they will disappear from my screen. And whatever I have, let's say, it will be visible here. I can format and I can just download that. Anything that you would like to know specifically here?
Can you do conditional color on the dimension column?
I don't think so, but that's a really good point. I think we just can format, can clear, but we can't do conditional formatting. We can, yeah, normal formatting we can do.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
I know we're behind the schedule. I initially planned an open discussion, but I think we're gonna skip it because it's late, it's dark outside. So thank you everyone on the call. We will end here. If you are interested in like any content, like the PowerPoint, feel free to leave your email address. We'll share it with you. If not, I'll be releasing the video in next few days of this session. Thank you so much for your time. We'll do the raffle here really quick if everyone go, and we also have a lot of food, so please take so we're home if you like, so we don't waste anything.